Well, welcome to another day. This one's a sad one for sure. This is the drawback of working outside. We are having rainstorms after rainstorms, and on top of that, this stuff was all supposed to be cleared out hours ago, and it's just lingering on and on and on. So at the moment, I'm kind of in a holding pattern. Tomorrow's supposed to be 80 degrees and beautifully sunshine, which is just abnormal for a summertime in Maryland all by itself. Everything about this summer has been abnormal. But as you can see, we are in a process of actually picking the top here. My scaffolding, rigging, whatever you want to call it, really just didn't work out. It was because my main board here is only about 9.5 feet long. I do have a nice brand new 16 footer sitting right there. So being the boat is 19 feet long, 16 feet should get it to about here and all the way on the bow. And the real problem is it's not really lifting up the back end because it's pretty light, believe it or not. I mean, it does have the new seats and such on it, but it is still pretty light. It's this, and this only comes up to about here. And there's, like I said before, there's so much water and stuff in the fiberglass that the bow is extremely heavy, and it just wanted to bend this down. So I'm going to leave my 2x4 here. This one actually has another 2x4 that's underneath of it, drilled out for the holes so the rope won't actually pull through the deck, which I don't think it would anyway because the deck is so thick. But we're just going to make sure. And as I said, with the 16 footer coming out to about here, it's going to have a picking point right about there. So that's going to help out a lot. What's not helping out, as I said, is the rain. And I'm thinking it's already 3:30 in the afternoon. It's pretty much going to be a wipeout day. But of course, there's things we can do in the garage, and of course we will be ready because I really want to pull this top tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like the best day to do it. So we'll get on that then. Man, look at the cabousel. It's amazing. All that's going to have to be broken off. This is going to be a fun adventure, that's for sure. Then the whole thing about getting it upside down is another adventure all by itself. But until this rain stops, we're kind of in a holding pattern. And add insult to injury, you know, a day that we actually have downtime on working on this Nova, we could be taking our Nova out, but who wants to go out on a day like today? And you know, when we're done with this project, this baby's going up on eBay. Yeah, 16 feet long, used once, 5.5 inches of girth. Make your bids now, people. And for some of you new race boat lifers, it's not always about the Allmand. It's really about real life with a race boat that I probably shouldn't have because I really, you know, I'm not a rich person. I don't really deserve to have race boats. But when you rescue them, hey, sometimes you get lucky. But today is sticker day. And this is a year because it's bi-yearly. And this year we get hit with 3 of them. So yeah, it's a little pain in the butt to suck up this December's payments. The only one that doesn't have to be registered this year is the 19, except for the trailer. This is the year it gets done. It's by year also. So it's 1 year it's the boat, the next year it's the trailer. Race boat, same thing. Next year will be the trailer. Lucky enough though, we keep the registrations in these little key bobs here. So I don't even have to get in the boats. Now, of course, our John boat, I will have to, but that makes that easy. And all I have to do is really get the stickers on the boat. So that makes that pretty much easy. Just a little expensive. And just like that, we get to take something else off our master list for the year. Well, it stayed pretty cool, and the sun is just barely coming out, and it's about 8:15, 8:20. So yeah, we'll get to see it for about 10 minutes today. But it didn't rain, so I decided, you know what, I just can't look at this any longer. So I came out here and I re-rigged the whole boat. If this doesn't pull it off, it'll just pull the whole boat off the trailer. I mean, we have overdone everything. I mean, that strap alone should pick up the whole boat. It's a 10,000 pound strap, so I mean, come on. What we did up here is, we've got, as I said before, I actually have a 2x4 running under the deck and another matching one on top of the deck here, and I've through bolted it with all thread, and all the way down through, put plates on both sides, up and down. And then of course, now I've got my 2x6, my double 2x6, ratchet strap to it. It allows it to curve a little bit, you know, and won't allow the actual front end to sag like it was yesterday. The front end, the whole thing was just going to blow up like that. I could see the tension building right there on that end. So, but I've already gone ahead and I've lifted it a little bit here and there. I don't want to get too crazy because we are doing the big lift tomorrow when it's going to be supposedly a beautiful day all day, and it'll be a perfect opportunity to do it. So, but I am worried. I'm telling you, this top is flexible. I've never seen one like this. As I said, and I've pulled a couple Monzas and Donzis and all the rest of them, and this thing's like a rag. I mean, it's like blah, blah, blah all over the place. So I think I've got it braced and ratchet strapped up and rigged up basically the best I could. I even put up my crane a little further just to make sure that we have plenty of room for the back seats to come out and nothing was going to get tied up in the rigging or anything. So fingers are crossed. Tomorrow will be the big day. One last thing, I bet where you live you don't have to worry about flying fish. Yeah, that's a rockfish and eagle from the park over here. They like to pick them up and drop them. We found 3 or 4 of them in our yard over the years. It's amazing. I'm just lucky I am not in possession of this fish because it's illegal. So, good on you, Mr. Eagle. All right, now that's the way to start another day. Woo! Let me tell you, this thing's like a big old flapjack. I'm still nervous as hell because we're gonna have to move this and flip it. But yeah, wow. What fun that was, huh? This is the first time I think an Allmand's been shown like, oh boy, look at that big split on that dashboard. That's why it is doing what it is doing. And then we got the hull over here. Yes, we've already taken our blue barrel out. Yeah, that was #1 accomplishment there. But here we are, a John Allmand SuperNova with no top. I guess we're on our way to a Fisherman. No, we're not. But I got some rearranging and some cleaning to do, and then we'll continue this adventure. No, I didn't get stuck. You'll see in a minute.
My perfect timing.
You gotta put it back on.
We all got perfect timing. I didn't turn a single camera on for this. No, I did not turn a single camera on. We put it over here. Thanks to Igg and Liam and Jack.
And you just doxed them. Good job.
No one uses Facebook.
No, exactly.
One of the oldies.
Awesome. This is great. This is fucking great. This thing's already sitting great, Jack. Look at that shit. I knew that contour would help out a lot. Well, I'm a total dumbass. I had 2 cameras set up for the big move. Got talking, got them straightened out on what we were going to do, and see, there's one right over there now. Had another one set up in the garage up here. And, you know, they were like, okay, let's go. and just started grabbing it, and I was like, all right, well, we're going. And I never even thought about turning the camera on. The biggest piece, or the biggest move we've done yet, and totally miss it, but oh well. It's not only about making a video, it's about getting this boat fixed and put back on the water where it should be. So we've got it upside down and in the yard. Yeah, my little burnout marks here were actually ditches that I dug so the wings would fit down inside of them. As you can see, there's even a little bit of space down there in case it rains that, you know, we'll be able to go absorb the water a little bit more. But having it upside down is like almost a dream to me. And I'll tell you one thing, it was not light. I picked up the whole deck, the interior deck, by myself. Now, technically, square footage wise, this deck is actually the same square footage. Now, I understand it has the two, you know, braces across it, and you know, it's got the roving on the back here, but this thing weighs like 5 times what the deck weighed. I mean, it is insanely heavy. I don't understand why, but I guess you can see why it's actually broken away. The dashboard here, the other side over there, that one's broken away about 1.5 feet, and that's probably the reason why. The whole deck was probably flattening out, but I tried to use my yard as best as I could, including, you know, digging 2 holes in it. But as we see, we have it kind of slopes up here for the driveway, and it follows that. But now I'm going to get a bunch of 4x4s I got over by my shed here, and I'm going to start blocking this thing up where it should be. And once we get the curves back in it right, I'm only going to take out sections at a time to try to mitigate it unfolding on me. So, because like I said, the top side's really soft right now. I'm hoping that having it upside down, it actually is falling back in place. Our balsa shows up tomorrow. It could be any time, who knows. It could be, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning, it could be 7 at night, so we don't know what's going to happen there. Of course, we have plenty to do. That doesn't even include the front deck. All this needs to be fixed. We need to finish tabbing in all the way around. We need to replace all this wood in here. Yeah, we're gonna fix a lot of stuff. But right now I have to go get Mr. Boat up here on the other side of my camera and bring it into the driveway where it belongs. Well, I would call that a day. It's one accomplishment I wanted to get done, was done. A few discoveries. One, that one right there, it looked like it was painted white. It actually was just white dust. It is the build number for the boat. It's 1916, of course, and it was built in February of 1972, which was pretty interesting, considering it's titled a 73. We also went ahead and cleaned these boxes out somewhat. We have some damage fixed there where they ran the fuel lines through. We're not going to have any fuel fills or anything like that in the deck. Anything we can get rid of in the deck is the best. You want it about as clear as possible. So we got that done. Our fills are all ground out. We got our bilge pump exit is all ground out also. We're not going to keep that there. Everything's going right out the transom. Transom's busy anyway. Might as well just put everything right there and keep the rest of the boat clean. And from here, we went ahead and we've done some inspections, and we have found that this is the greatest thing ever to take this top off, because we would have never got this thing fixed without it. And there's still doubt on whether we're going to be able to fix it or not now as it is. As you can see, I have it in some traction because of the way the dashboard is broken loose. It's actually lost its curvature on this side. So I'm going to leave it in traction overnight. Not sure if I'm going to get to the dashboard tomorrow or not. Like I said, I'm not going to even start this until I've actually got my balsa in stock, which again, it's supposed to be here tomorrow. We'll see if actually it shows up early or late. But with it off, I can actually get to things like this, and that is rotten. You know, I mean, I guess I could have put a plate or something behind that, but hey, now it's going to have some brand new plywood there. and a few other things along the way, but we're going to start that tomorrow. I wanted just to get those things ready, so that will be my backup plan. Basically, if I start something here and I have extra resin, of course, you know, I always like to have a backup plan, and they will be it. So, and not only that, but it'll take like 10 minutes to fix now, and with the top on, it'll take about 30 hours, so it's best to do them now. But we're also going to be able to get this side fixed. As I said, that's all rotten. I mean, you can listen to the deck. It crackles. So, yeah, it's rotten. And hopefully, like I said, the curvature of my yard, a whole crap load of 4x4s. And then I'm going to do section at a time. I'm not going to take everything apart at once, because I'm afraid if I do, it's going to lose its, you know, it's going to lose its shape, which would be terrible, terrible, terrible. But it's about 7:45, and I ain't doing anything else tonight, so we'll see you tomorrow. On a side note, I can definitely see why they turned this into a center console. And I was walking up into the bow doing things, sweeping and such. There's so much room in this boat, it's unbelievable. But once you put a deck back on it, it takes away a little bit of the room, but it adds to the cool factor by 1,000. What's up, ducks? So here we are. Yeah, leaf blower. Works better than the air compressor when we're outside. It's been a long start to another day here. Wasn't really a whole lot to, you know, bother filming. Mainly it's been exploratory and destruction. We do a little exploring and then we destroy it. It's what's been happening. Whole rear deck was done when I fixed it. The main reason it was fixed is so it would actually not fall apart when we actually flipped it over. I figured about, you know, this section here was bad to begin with. Once I started getting into it, I mean, up here it was better, and it was much better actually. But, you know, I'm talking about leaving a piece about, I don't know, 2 feet wide between, you know, where I fixed it at, it was fine. The rest of it was pretty much ready to come right off. So it all left. We got our new boards cut. It'll be 2 pieces, which ain't no big deal. Got to use up some of this leftover plywood anyway. This stuff cost a fortune. I sure as hell ain't throwing it away. And we're going to fix our little piece down here. And up here where the windshield mounts through, we're actually going to use some pressure treated plywood, which I have just a little bit left over. But here, over there, and right here where the windshield comes through, there's really no sealing that. And it's just the way it's designed. Again, it's not the greatest design in the world. Looks cool, but not the greatest design. So I'm going to cut a nice little square out of the balsa wood there, and I'm going to put actually pressure treated in there too where it comes through. But now is the time I start gluing some of these pieces on, and hopefully we can get this rear section taken care of today, and then tomorrow we can start working on the front section. Okay, we've got our back plate in again. We've got it all nice and weighted down with the sun out like it is. It's amazing how cool it is in the middle of summertime here in Maryland, but it's 80 degrees and the wind is moving, so I don't think it'll take much for it to go off. And now I'm just going to go ahead and finish in my little pieces and then start fiberglassing. Woohoo! Yeah, this camera is just not going to get those fireflies. There's like 3,000 of them up here in the woods right now, all flying around, flashing their asses, and can't see one of them. But with them out, that means it's pretty darn late, and which it is. It's going on 9 o'clock, to be honest. And but we got our wood in up here, got the whole rear deck done, all the way around, fixed up our boxes, even added to the wings a little bit to add to their stability some more. Up here we also got this piece in also, which again, that's for the windshield mount, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The windshield mount just goes through that. At least we hope. The balsa came in just about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, that 1:30 to 3 o'clock appointment, yeah, I missed it by about 6 hours. So yeah, that's tomorrow. We're going to start on the dashboard. First thing we're going to do. Something is interesting right here. There's a burn spot right there. And I noticed that when I was crawling up underneath the bow here to actually disconnect the front eye from the deck. That's a burn spot. Somebody laid up in there and burned the top of the boat, or the bottom half of the boat, the underside, with a lighter, and basically sat there and did this while fiberglass fumes were going on. Very interesting. I wonder if they're still alive today. Don't really care either, but either way, making more progress. They're saying for the next couple of days, no rain. That's what we need. Doesn't matter what it's like, just don't need any rain. See you tomorrow. Well, it's the beginning of another day. Bit breezy one out here again today, but it's supposed to be dry, so I'll take breeze over rain any day. Here we are. Let's better look at what happened last night. Of course, we got everything done. Everything looks good. Got one tiny little, well, no, actually, I think that's just a white mark. I was thinking I had a little bubble there, but nothing big, nothing to worry about. One thing I didn't point out yesterday was actually they have all these like snaps that will hold a top on, I guess. I don't know. I've seen it on a couple of these Novas where they've got snaps and such all the way up by both sides. I don't know what the problem was with a full cover, because I don't even leave mine out here because they get filthy with it. I have one actually, it fits my 19. It just fits around the windshield and the backside. It was useless out of here. I mean, one, it allowed water to get in the boat because it was a little short at the transom. And it allowed, you know, just water to pile up on the deck and everything else. It was always filthy, so I went with full covers. So we're not going to be using those snaps anymore, so I went ahead and fiberglassed them all in the back. I remember about 20 years ago using medical tape, you know, to fill the holes and actually fill them in with fiberglass when I did mine. So having one upside down, it's just like I said, this is amazing to me. I spent a lot of time on mine fixing it upside down. But today is the dashboard in this one. And maybe we'll start working on the front deck also along with it, and let's see if we can get something done today. Alright, we went ahead and got our first section up, and let me tell you, it looks a lot easier than it really is, because it's a real pain. I mean, in the certain sections, yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, up in the middle there, it's not as bad, but out towards the ends, I mean, it's stuck, and even where it's rotten, it's still stuck. Right? It's a bit of a bear. But as I said, I don't plan on taking this rib out until I get this and the dashboard back in. At least, you know, in, not necessarily completed. But I wanted to keep its, you know, shape, and I'm afraid if I start taking out rib after rib and just start cutting the whole thing, it's going to pancake out or do something it's not supposed to do. So yeah, now I got to cut out a dashboard and cut up some balsa. Woohoo! Alright, we went ahead and installed our balsa first. That's the way it was before, so we're just putting it back the way it was. I'm going to try to copy the dashboard over here in a few minutes, but this bright sunshine, I'm telling you, this stuff kicks off fast. And it's not like super fast like the Home Depot stuff, but compared to its normal 35 such minutes, you know, somewhere around there on a normal day, bright sunlight, it's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, and that's because I'm kicking the hardener up a little bit, so. Yeah, already rolled out, already pretty solid. Everything around the edges that I can feel, it's hard as a rock already. So we're just going to leave that like it is for now. As I said, I've got a dashboard to cut, and I got to do some filling around some edges here to make sure it's filled in. And then I'm actually going to tab this in first underneath it here, and then the dashboard goes in, and then it tabs on top of this along with the 1708. So that's the way it was built. You know, I'm just going to put it back this way, same way, so at least most of the measurements should come out the same. Well, we're just cleaning up some of our mess. It's late again. We did not get nearly as far as we thought we were going to get today. Taking this dash apart and taking the deck apart at the same time, and then having to put it back in, you know, put the balsa in, get it tabbed in so it's separated from the dashboard. We don't want any, like if water does intrude, we don't want it actually going and rotting the dashboard at the same time. Yeah, oh wow, it's kicking the crap out of me. So we had to do that layer, tab that in, do that layer, tab this in. We now have done 2 layers of tabbing all the way around the dashboard. We also tabbed in around the edges. It just makes it easier instead of the 1708 having to, you know, make a perfect tab at the end. We're just going to go ahead and put some chop strand over top of it after we're done anyway. We also weighed our trash can. Yeah, just out of curiosity, it has 30 pounds in it. That's pretty good considering it doesn't have any of the fiberglass or the dashboard, the old dashboard itself. Neither one of those have actually made it into the trash can. So yeah, 30 pounds just off of that. 60, 90 pounds of just balsa. And I think that package weighs 18 pounds or something that came with 8 sheets. Wow. It's going to be a nice boat when it's done, but there's still a lot to go. And we're not forgetting the hull either to get these little spots that we really do not want to get when the boat's actually put back together. I mean, there's no reason to be doing fiberglass up underneath of a deck when it's wide exposed like it is. We also started patching in the floor there. That's what the old fill used to go through to the fuel tanks. Now these boxers are going to be semi-watertight. You can pretty much put anything you want in them and just keep it dry and good to go, and not actually have it, every time you hit a wave, flop out on the floor. So yeah, fixed the rear one also. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking that this may take a little longer than we expected. Right, Mr. Duck? Yeah, I thought so. This year, one more time. Yeah, and after this adventure, all right, let's do a serious one. Another quick supplemental. The only one that doesn't get, the one exception, and we'll try this one more time. Okay, camera focus. But that's the plan. Yeah, at least we're on schedule. But, we on? We're on. Just trying to keep my back to the wind here.